In 2006, Vikram and I got married in a lavish, long, fun, and I must say a terribly competitive Indian Bengali wedding. My bridal makeup was done by one of the foremost professional makeup artists of Calcutta. He did a beautiful job. I think I looked absolutely gorgeous. It was just the right kind of soft yet bright makeup that I love. In the last 13 years, I've won a beauty pageant, did a little bit of modeling, and a whole lot more of doing my own makeup. So I often wonder, if I was to get married now, would I still have outsourced my makeup to a professional artist, or would I have done it myself? And in this video, I try to find the answer to that question. So today I will try to recreate my bridal makeup look using all the makeup products that I own, and incidentally all of them are Charlotte Tilbury. So this is also going to be an Indian Bengali bridal full face Charlotte Tilbury look. It's only because that's the only brand I own at the minute, not because they are paying me a dime. They're not even paying me a penny. They probably don't even know that I exist. I start with a clean face. The first thing I do is put on Charlotte Tilbury's Magic Cream as well as the Magic Eye Cream to moisturize my skin, followed by the Instant Magic Facial Dry Sheet Mask, and leave it on for 15 minutes for a second round of moisturization. My lips are normally very dry, so I'll also use the mask to cover my lips. On the day of the wedding, the makeup should be bright, luminous, good for strong lights and high definition cameras. So I'm using the Hollywood Flawless filter in shade 4 medium as a primer, and I use my fingers to blend it in. For the foundation, I use the Airbrush Flawless Foundation in 7.5 Warm. That's my shade. It's a high coverage foundation and stays really long. Once again, for an Indian wedding day for a bride, you can't afford to use medium coverage or low coverage because there's so much bright clothes and so many jewelry to be worn. Your face really has to look bright. And I use the Hollywood complexion brush to blend this to my skin. This foundation really shows its true colors after a few minutes. So once I wear it on my face, I leave it for a few minutes to absorb and oxidize, and then it will not move at all. I'll next be using the color corrector in shade 3 or tan on my dark circles as well as the pigmented areas over the sides of my nose and the sides of my mouth. And I just pat the color corrector into the skin using my finger. Remember, I got married more than 13 years ago, so that's 13 years of a high stress job as a doctor and 13 years of being married. So please don't judge my dark circles. Next comes the Magic Away Liquid Concealer in shade 8 medium, my least favorite Charlotte Tilbury product for reasons I'll discuss later. This I use once again over all the places where I've put the color corrector on and anywhere I think extra coverage needs to go. And I use the smaller brush of the Hollywood complexion brush. Because I'm not in my 20s anymore, my face gets natural fine lines. And to not allow the foundation or the concealer to sink into those natural creases, I use a moist beauty blender and just do stippling action all over my face. That gets rid of the extra foundation and concealer and makes the face look really smooth. I now move on to the eyes, starting with the brows, using the brow lift in Supermodel to draw individual hair, trying to make my own brows appear thicker and darker and not trying to end up looking like Cara Delevingne. I'm especially intrigued by the eye makeup on my wedding day. I love how soft and subdued it is with a very natural looking cat eye. It definitely was not a smoky eye look. So I'll use Charlotte's Iconize palette, and first I want to line the cat eye. So I am going to use an Eco Tools smudge liner. Moisten the brush with a little amount of clean water and use the black shade, that is the smoke shade of the Disco Eyes look, to line the upper lash line along with the cat eye. This is going to be a very soft looking eyeliner. But this is not the final one because we obviously have much more to go. For the main color, I'm going to use Charlotte's Blender Eye brush and then mix two colors, the enhanced shade of Date Eyes and the smoke shade of Day Eyes, and apply it all over the upper eyelids, up to the crease, and then sideways extending up to the cat eye eyeliner that I had done. In fact, the whole reason why I had lined the upper lash line and the cat line is so that I can have a boundary and I know how far to extend the color on my eye. You can use multiple layers to create a deeper shade. Honestly, I mean, when you look at the camera always makes everything look softer, but in real life they look much more darker. So it's a very fine balance to make your makeup look pleasant to the naked eye as well as look bright and beautiful in pictures and on video. I'll take the darker shade, that is the smoke shade of Day Eyes, to add a further layer to the outer V of the eye and also run it over the crease. Whatever extra color I have on my brush, I'm going to use it gently over the lower lash line to give just a tiny hint of color. Next, I mix the prime shades of Day and Date Eyes, the two light colors, to use it over the brow bone. I usually do not go for sparkly golden colors on my brow bone, but this is a bridal look, so I can afford to look sparkly. And a little amount of the lightest shade, the prime shade of Day Eyes, on the inner corner of my eyes. Back again to the black shade, this time using it with a dry brush, Charlotte's smudge brush, and using it to line the upper lash line and redraw the cat eye. So basically going over the first eyeliner that I had done. Also using the same color and the same brush to line the lower lash line. Since the eye look was quite subdued and soft, instead of going in for a jet black liner, I'll use the Rock and Coal in Barbarella Brown to line both the upper and lower lash lines and also reinforce the cat eye. Using the Eco Tools liner smudge brush, again this time dry, to push the eyeliner color in place. Curl the lashes with Charlotte's tool again. Generous lashings of mascara, full fat mascara from Charlotte Tilbury, both on the upper and lower lids. I absolutely despise false lashes. I don't know why, I have an innate hatred for them, and as well as colored contact lenses. And I'm so lucky that I didn't have to use it when I got married. Using a Q-tip now to clean up the mess. Time to contour now with Hollywood Contour Wand in the shade Medium Dark, using it with Eco Tools brush Wonder Color Finish. The contouring is only done so that the face looks like it has some structure. In a picture it should look three-dimensional and not two-dimensional, and this is not to make me look like Kim Kardashian, I promise you. The only part of my face that I correct a little bit with the help of a contour wand is my nose. I've got the worst shaped nose in the world and I would love to have it a little sharper. I'm not going under the knife for it. I'd much rather use these temporary colors. So I'm going to blend it with the brush as mentioned, but I'm not going to completely blend it out. It's going to be just shy of total blending. I'll buff at the end of my makeup, so I'll leave it a little dark. I know it looks odd, but believe me, when I finish, it's going to look so much better. The original Pillow Talk Cheek to Chic blush, using it with Bobbi Brown blush brush. I'm going to use a generous color because, as I mentioned, I need the color to really shine through. This is quite a light shade, and for brown skin, it takes a little bit of effort and a little bit of layers for the color to be obvious. Knock knock, who's there? Vikram. Vikram who? Vikram or Betal. Back to my makeup, and I have the Hollywood Beauty Light wand in Spotlight. That's a highlighter. I'll put it on the high points of my face and use my fingers to blend it. Now finally I will be buffing, not bluffing, using a Real Techniques brush and Airbrush Flawless Finish Skin Perfecting Micro Powder in shade 2 medium. Small circular motions all over my face. I know it may seem like all the colors are going to mix, but believe me, it doesn't. That's one of the beauties of using good quality product, and this powder is a miracle item. It creates such perfect looking skin. I've got good skin anyway, touch wood, but it just makes the skin look airbrushed and amazing in pictures. Now the face is done. See how the contour no longer seems obvious and everything looks perfect. I'm going to do my lips now. First I'll line with Walk of Shame lip liner. My upper lip is slightly smaller than my lower lip, so I'm going to resize it. And finally the lipstick in the color Love Liberty, that's part of the Matte Revolution formula of Charlotte Tilbury. It's a beautiful berry pink color and it complements my skin tone, and I think it's very close to the lipstick shade that was used on my wedding day. So, what do you think? Do you think my wedding makeup was very similar to this? I think it pretty much was. And coming back to the actual question, whose answer I wanted to find through this video, if I was to get married now, would I get a professional makeup artist to do my makeup, or would I do it myself? Now, I think at this moment in time, I'm reasonably good at doing my own makeup. I also have got very good makeup products and brushes, and I think that makes a massive difference to the outcome. I understand my facial anatomy well. I know which ones to highlight and which ones to not, and most importantly, I know what my preferences are. So that is a big advantage, and also because I use all the makeup and the brushes only for myself, so I will be reassured regarding hygiene. There will be no chance of cross-contamination and skin breakouts from using unhygienic products. But at the same time, I have to say this, and those who are married will know this already, that Indian weddings are very long, strenuous. It takes a toll on the health of bride and groom. It is exhausting, honestly, it is. And getting somebody else to do your makeup for you can be liberating. It can be a relief, honestly. I don't think I've said this often, but on the day of my wedding, I had fever. I had viral fever. I was sniffy. I was miserable. I remember when I was about to enter the wedding makeup studio, I had a fleeting thought of calling up my mother and saying, "Ma, can I please postpone this wedding? I really am not feeling well. I can't do this today." I mean, I wouldn't have done it already. There was too much at stake. But I just felt like taking a nap and not doing anything else. And doing a bridal makeup, the hair, the wearing the sari and dresses and jewelry, everything takes up a lot of time. It took me 40 minutes to do this entire makeup, but apart from this, you also need hairstyling and getting ready with the jewelry and dress, everything. So I remember it did take much more than an hour on the day of my wedding. It usually takes about at least 2 or 3 hours for everyone. And whilst I am good at wedding makeup, I am absolutely rubbish when it comes to hairstyling. That's why you see with my hair open all the time. So I would have needed somebody else to do my hair anyway. Also, there are some things that a professional can obviously do much better than I can ever. Like for example, on my wedding day with the fever, I also had conjunctivitis in one eye, and it was significantly smaller than the other. I remember when he was about to do my eye makeup. I asked him, do you want me to put on the eye drop now, or do you want me to put it later? And he said, no, have your eye drop now and then I'll do your eye makeup. And I promise you, honestly, you had a look at my wedding pictures, right? It is almost impossible to make out which eye is smaller. Since I was the sufferer, I'm the only one who knows, and even I can't remember it. If I look at certain pictures, then I can make out which one was smaller, but it was just not obvious. That I don't think I would ever be able to do. I'm so lucky that the makeup artist did not paint my eyebrows all black and broad and have an intense smoky and ask me to put on false eyelashes or colored contact lenses. I would have absolutely hated it. I see most of the brides nowadays have that sort of a makeup. I'm not judging them, to each his or her own, but it's just not something that I would ever prefer. I don't think I'd ever prefer that sort of a look. My honest answer is, I don't know if I was to get married in 2020, I would have hired a professional makeup artist. Maybe yes, maybe no. But if it was yes, I would be very choosy about whom to hire, because honestly, most of the Bengali brides nowadays, I really don't like the way their makeup is done. So that's it for today. I hope you have enjoyed watching this, and I hope you agree with me that my wedding day makeup was almost similar to what I have on now. In fact, why don't I do something? Why don't I get a second opinion from someone who was in fact present on my wedding day? Vikram?
Coming. Hello? Wow.
I have a question for you.
Yeah, what's up?
If I looked like this with this makeup, would you consider me as your bride? Would you marry me?
Of course I would, but I need to change into a few things first.
He said yes. And I've got a second question.
Yeah.
Do I look better, worse, or the same as 13 years ago?
That sounds like a dangerous question. But I'm going to go out on a limb and say yes.
Yes, what?
You look better.
Oh, thank goodness he said yes. Thank you. You can go and watch the telly now.
Thank you.
And please shut the door. He said yes. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, if you found it useful, please let us know. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. The red button is right there. Bye.